Hello gentlemen, barbarians, savages, Rooster here. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about self-actualization. This is a video that I've been wanting to do for a while. It's pretty complicated, so I'm going to do a favor for you. If you don't have a bachelor's degree in psychology, I would recommend that you go to Google right now and open up search for Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and you're gonna see pictures of a little pyramid and stuff like that. And this is primarily what I'm going to talk about today. Maslow's hierarchy of needs from a MGTOW standpoint and from a gynocentric standpoint. That little pyramid, if you're looking at it on there, broken up into 5 different categories, and self-actualization is the very top of the pyramid. That's from a psychological standpoint and from a social standpoint, that's the highest point that a man can reach, is self-actualization in society. But the predisposition of this pyramid is that all of the categories below must be met in order for a man or woman to become self-actualized. And if you're looking at the pyramid, the very bottom is physical requirements. The next level is safety requirements. The next level above that is love and friends. The next level above that is esteem. And then, of course, self-actualization is at the top. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go through from the bottom to the top and talk about the different strategies that men and women use to get these needs met at each level of the hierarchy. And it'll give you a really kind of interesting view of our society and how things work based on from a woman's perspective and a man's perspective. And then at the end, I'm going to talk a little bit about being a self-actualized man, the things that are going to be necessary that you're going to have to cast off, and the things that you're going to need to embrace from our society the way it is right now. Okay? From the very basic, fundamental beginning, the thing that you need to understand about men and women is that we have 2 different strategies for reproduction. We have 2 completely separate evolutionary biological imperatives. Okay, from a woman's standpoint, a woman biologically wants to get with a man, find protection, and have provisions made for her offspring. Okay? And she can go with a lot of different men and stuff like that, but the fundamental strategy for her is to get resources for her children, to keep the human race going. That is wired into her head. That's hardwired into her head. Now, males of all primate species, all mammals, including human men, our strategy for reproduction that is wired into our head is opposing and completely different from that. Our strategy is to impregnate as many females as possible. Okay? That is how we propagate the species, is by impregnating as many females as possible. So that's why, they say men are dogs and we sleep around. It's a biological imperative that we have. So you have to understand that from the very beginning of this discussion. Women's idea and men's idea are completely different. And you'll see as we go through this who's actually winning out, because they are opposing views, and you can look out at our society and you can see which view is winning out over the other one. So from the very beginning, the bottom, we have the physical requirements: food, water, sex. Now, how do women go about getting food, water, and sex? They have a survival instinct. Men also have a survival instinct. But women's survival instinct is different than men's survival instinct. Women's survival instinct is what's known as pair bonding. Okay? Pair bonding is the process of finding a man, having him provide protection for you, and giving you food and water, and then possibly, if you're in the mood, providing him sex. Okay? Men's survival instinct, they have their own individual survival instinct, but they also have a protection instinct. So women have pair bonding, men have a protection instinct. The protection instinct is to protect women in general, everyone in the tribe, all the women in the tribe and the children in the tribe from danger or whatever. Go out and provide food and water and get sex. So from a very caveman-esque fundamental point of view, you can see where things are starting to diverge already. Okay? Now I want to show you an indication in this in our modern society. I talked about this in another video, but if you want to see this in action, there's a show on TV called Big Brother. Okay? And what happens in Big Brother is every week someone gets voted off. It could be a man or a woman, but it is an impending threat to the tribe. Think about it that way. When I watch Big Brother, I don't watch it like other people watch it. I watch it from a caveman view. And you can see gynocentrism just goes out the door. These women, their immediate instinct is when there's a threat that they're going to get voted off the show, they're going to lose the money. They want the money. Their immediate instinct is pair bonding. The first thing that they do is they look to hook up with a guy on the show and have that guy protect them from getting voted off. That's the immediate threat. It's not dying, it's not being eaten by a cave bear, it's not having a dinosaur chew you up, it's being voted off. That's the immediate threat to their physical welfare. And their instinct is they immediately go into pair bonding. And then you see the men on the other side of it, they go into their survival instinct and they use their protection instinct. They take one of the girls under their arm and they go off and they have something that's called a showmance. Okay? This is really interesting to me, and if you watch the show, you'll immediately see it. Okay? So let's go up to the next level. Safety. Okay? Once you have your food, water, and sex, now you're looking for safety. This entails employment, gaining of property, and the development of resources. Okay? Now, how do women maintain their safety? They use hypergamy. And I've done an entire video on female nature, and the first thing that I talk about is hypergamy. But hypergamy is basically monkey branching. Okay? You have little squirrely here. Hi, my name's Sally the squirrel, and I'm hanging out down here with Tommy the turkey, and we got, so much resources and everything like that. But all of a sudden, here comes the bald eagle, and he's got more resources, and he's got more power, and he's got better employment. He might even be the turkey, Tommy the turkey's boss. And what happens immediately? She jumps up here and goes and pair bonds with the old bald eagle. And old Tommy the turkey's down here, and he's going, well, what's going on? What happened? I thought we had such a thing. See you later. And they're gone. Right? That's hypergamy, monkey branching. You grab onto this guy up here, but you don't let go of this guy until you're sure that this one's done. And then you let go, and you got the next guy, and he pulls you up the ladder. That's what women use to get employment, property, resources. They move up the ladder by using hypergamy. Now, what do men use to ensure safety? Numbers. Male disposability. Males dispose of themselves in wars. You know, they're firemen, they're policemen. They do all of the dangerous jobs. They do all of the hard stuff to try to provide that property and resources for women. They will sacrifice themselves to get those resources so that they can provide them to women. So disposability is probably one of the biggest things that men do in our society. They just consider themselves disposable. And so many men have died in wars. I mean, that actually the reason that the population is 52 to 48% is because so many men over the history of the human race have died from wars. Right? Okay? So that's the second level. So we have physical, then we have safety. Now we're going up to the next level, which is love and friendship. Now, how do women love? Is it the same way that men love? No, it's not. And I did another video on Brifault's law and how Brifault determined how the female controls the family and what they base their love on. And they base their love on the benefits that are derived. Future benefits, current benefits, what have you done for me lately? That's how women love men, okay? Men, on the other hand, perceive love in a different way, and it comes from their original first 4 to 5 years of their life. In psychology, it's called male-mother need, where they're basically pair bonded with their mother, and they're taught during that time to take care of women, right? And to seek out women for attention. And the worst thing that male mother need does to men, that's the hardest thing to break, is the defining themselves based on women's opinion of them or usefulness of them. That is one of the hardest hardwired thing that's in men's head to get them out of this hypergamous behavior, is to not define yourself by what some woman thinks of you, or what, you know, whether you can make her happy or not. Make yourself happy. I'll get to that later. But that's not hardwired into men's brains because of male mother need. We're programmed basically like little robots to seek out the affection of women and do for them and base our own existence on what their opinion is of us. It's fucked up if you think about it. Now, that's the love aspect of it. So you can see how that works. You have women using Brifault's law and men with male mother need. You have this little man who's running around, hey, I'm Tommy. I just want you to love me. I just want you to love me. And here's Sally the squirrel who says, well, what are you going to do for me in order for me to love you? Well, I'll do this and I'll do that and I'll get down on my knee and I'll give you a ring and I'll give you a house and I'll pay for your college and I'll pay for your rent. Well, that's all good, but I don't know. I got 3 other offers over here that I might think are better, you know. Oh, please, 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 please. Oh, okay. Right? That is a pathetic metaphor, but that's what goes on basically in our society based on these 2 different ways to get love. Okay? Now, from the friendship side of it, men and women are completely different. Women have something that's called in-group bias. Women like women. Women promote other women. Women gossip with other women. Women get in with other women in the cloven, so to speak, and they learn how to police men and control men and talk about men, and they have an in-group bias, you know, that woman good, man bad. Okay? Unfortunately, men don't have this. Men have a competitive model. They punch each other in the arm. They wrestle each other. Whoever ends up on top is the dominant one. They tell crude jokes to each other. They cut each other down. They bust each other's balls. And that's fun, you know. Maybe it's not fun if you're the one that's always getting wrestled to the ground and beat up, but, you know, work on your verbal skills then, buddy. You know, come back at them with some freaking snappy cut downs. You know, but men's lives with friends are competitive in nature. Now, there, you know, you have fraternities and you have Eagles clubs and Moose clubs and stuff like that. But I'll talk more about that later, about how even those areas are policed by women infiltrating men's spaces. But even in the Eagles club and the men's club, there's still a lot of ball bashing between men. So from the love and friend standpoint, you have male mother need for love, and Brifault's law is how women deal with love. And then friends based on in-group bias and competition, right? So women help each other out, men are competitive, right? So the next step on the ladder is esteem. Confidence, respect, and achievement. That's what builds esteem in people, right? How much confidence do you have? How much respect do you solicit from other people? And what have you got achievement-wise, right? Well, for women, you have hypoagency. Big word, basically means policing men and playing the show off. Now, a lot of guys that are in their 40s and 50s will have these wives, you know, they call them trophy wives. They're not the trophy. The wife isn't the trophy. Believe me, when they go to the dinner party, the person that's the trophy is the husband. Because, you know, the guy, all he can say is, my wife's hot, okay? But other guys, you know, they look at it and they go, okay, but other guys are really interested in what the guy does for a living, how much money he has, blah, 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 all that stuff. And that's the exact same thing that women are interested in. That's why the real show and tell, the hypoagency, is being done by the woman. When she walks into that dining hall with, you know, Brad Pitt on her arm, every woman in that place knows that she's got money, she's got resources, she's got a nice house, her kids will be wonderfully taken care of for the rest of their life because of what she's got on her arm, okay? She's playing show and tell. That's female hypoagency. Yeah, men get to say that they have a hot wife, but that's all she is. Really, if you think about it. He's the one that's got the degrees on the wall. He's the one that's paying for everything. He's the one that is the famous actor. He's the one that's paying the mortgage on the big house and the Bentley, okay? She's not doing anything. All she has to do is eat yogurt and rice treats and do 40 minutes on the treadmill every day. And she's golden. And her kids are taken care of. He's the one that's doing all the work. So she's the one that's playing show and tell. She's got hypoagency. Okay? And what all women care about is social standing. And once women get to a certain place in life, they can never go backwards. Once they get to a certain social standing, they can never go down. That's like a guy, if you want to know what it feels like for a woman to move from a big house to a little house, that's the same way that a guy feels when he's at work and his boss calls him in and says that he's going to be demoted. What's the guy do? I'm quitting, dude. I've been working my ass off. You're going to demote me after everything I've done for you? You're not going to give me a promotion, which is what I deserve. You're going to demote me? I'm going to quit. Okay? Because men embrace their esteem in their work, and women embrace their social standing. What's a woman going to do? If you tell your wife, we have to move from this big house to the little house, what's she going to do? I guarantee you, 100%. 100%. Okay, well, I'm filing for divorce. You're gone. She's going to quit. She's going to quit because that's her job, is to maintain social standing for the family. Okay? So, oh, I didn't talk about the guy side, but I kind of did talk about the men's side. The men's side for esteem, confidence, respect, and achievement is work. They climb the ladder. They do the ladder. I work, I get a promotion. I work, I get another promotion. I work, I get another promotion. And men love the dominance hierarchy. That's how they get their esteem. How many stripes you got on your sleeve? You have petty officer 3rd class, petty officer 2nd class, petty officer 1st class, chief, warrant officer, whatever. All of these rankings are devised by men, the hierarchy. That's how they develop their esteem. And as they go up higher up this hierarchy, the dominance hierarchy, they gain more esteem. They also gain, more management skills, more personnel skills, stuff like that. Women learn about social standing, and they control social standing. Okay? So then, the very top is self-actualization. This is where, as an individual, you develop morality, your creativity, your justice, your peace of mind, and free time and relaxation. When I think about self-actualization, I think of one word: freedom. Okay? If you are free 24 hours of your day to do what you want, maybe it's play video games, maybe it's play guitar, maybe it's kayaking, maybe it's hunting, maybe it's fishing, maybe it's making YouTube videos, once you're at that point in your life, you are self-actualized. This is my personal belief. There's, different views on that, but that's my view. Now, from the woman's side, what is self-actualization for women? The golden uterus. What's the golden uterus? I'm a woman. I'm the only one that can have babies. You need me. This is how I get my freedom. I have babies, and that's what self-actualizes me. And if anything below that doesn't allow me to have babies and doesn't promote the human race, okay, they're either victims or they're using their power overtly. They're oppressing you, right? Now here's the problem with this. There's going to be 10 billion people on the planet. Okay, so even though this is wired into our head, we really don't need a lot more people. So the golden uterus thing, from a scientific standpoint, doesn't stand up, but it's still wired into our heads. Now, self-actualization for the men. Here's the problem. It's not achievable. In this system that I just described to you, the gynocentric system, self-actualization or freedom for men is unattainable. Oh, Tommy the Turkey says, oh, but I want to be self-actualized. Sorry, Tommy, you can't be. Not in the gynocentric system. Well, what do I have to do to be self-actualized? Well, I'll tell you. This is what I was talking about at the very beginning. The strategy for reproduction and our evolutionary biological imperative. In order for a man to be free, all of the stuff on his side of the triangle, he has to cast them away. He has to defy his biological imperative. He has to go against the grain, and he has to fight for his own individuality. So protection instinct, he's got to get rid of it. No, I'm not going to protect women. I'm going to protect my damn self. There's 10 million people on the planet. They can protect themselves. I'll protect myself. Male disposability. I'm not going to allow you to dispose of me. I'm not going to allow you to make me go to war. I'm not going to allow you to make me sign up for the draft. I'm not going to allow you to make me go do jobs where I can die. I'm not going to sacrifice my safety for your safety, okay? When that guard on the Titanic turns his back, I'm climbing in the fucking lifeboat, bitch. And if you're not big enough to stop me, you're going to fucking end up in the water, okay? Male mother need, very hard to get around. But at some point in your life, you have to, as a man, stop categorizing yourself by what women think of you. Okay? You don't need attention from women. You don't need women to love you. Love yourself. Do what you want to do. And don't spend your time and money doing what they want. Okay? Use competition. Okay? This is the biggest thing that we're already programmed competition. Okay? Because we're in competition with other men. Treat women as if they're men. Break their in-group bias. Walk up into their little group of hens and say, I'm the fucking rooster, bitch. Who here can take me down? And all the women are going to sit there and look around and they're going to be like, we don't play that way. We're not competitive. We like in-group bias. We like to all be friends. Well, that isn't the way it's going to be anymore, because you're a woman, you're 50% of the population, you're taking my job away from me, you're taking my promotions away from me, you know, you're taking the stuff that I want just like a guy would nowadays. Okay? A woman can get promoted over you. This isn't the 1950s anymore. You have to look at her as competition. And when it comes to competition, you have to destroy her. Okay? Just like you're playing in the NFL. You hit that guy that's across from you as hard as you can. As hard as you can. And it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman, because they want to be equals. So compete with them as if they're equals. Leave them in the dust with a bloody mouth and broken teeth. And don't even freaking look back. And don't be ashamed of it, and don't feel guilty about it. Smash them. They're equals. They want to be equals. They asked to be equals. Treat them like fucking equals. Okay? The ladder and work. You got to do this. This is one of the few things that you got to do. You're going to have to work probably till at least you're 38. I got out of the rat race when I was 38. I've been retired already for 10 years. When I told people 10 years ago that I was retiring and getting out of the rat race, they looked at me like I was a fucking idiot. My shit's paid for. My truck's paid for, my house is paid for, my property's paid for, all my toys, my four-wheelers are paid for, my boats are all paid for, everything's freaking paid for. Why should I stay in the rat race? I'm not gonna. I'm gonna get out of the rat race and do what I want to do. Okay? The problem with this is you got to climb the ladder a little bit. You got to get out there. You got to make some money. We live in a capitalist world. That's the way it is. The important thing about that, making that money, is don't give it to a woman. Keep it for yourself. Keep the resources to yourself. Use the dominancy hierarchy to your advantage. Okay? Don't let women police you. Don't worry about them trying to... let them make their own social standing. Okay? Don't make a social standing for them. Don't be the trophy for them walking into the dining room. Alright? Now, if you do that, if you do all of those things, if you push away and use your strategy for reproduction, okay, you will short circuit the woman's side of the equation. And then guess what? Now it is achievable. Now self-actualization is achievable for you. Once you get to that level, like I said, you got money in the bank and you have all of these other things, and you didn't allow any of this other stuff to happen to you in your 20s and 30s and 40s. When you hit 50, you're going to be able to retire early. You are going to have freedom. You're going to have self-actualization. You will be able to do videos about morality. You'll be able to do videos about creativity. You'll be able to play guitar 3 hours a day if you want to. You'll be able to go kayaking. You'll be able to buy the house that you want, that you can afford, that you can pay for, that doesn't have to have 8 bedrooms because she wants to have 75 children. Okay? And relaxation. You will have so much relaxation, it's not even funny. You'll have no gray hair. You'll be 50 years old and you'll have no gray hair. Okay? So, in order to do that, in order to become self-actualized as a man, and that's what this video is about, is male self-actualization, or MGTOW self-actualization. You have to break your fundamental drives to provide for women and protect women and give women your money. Alright? It's been 30 minutes. I'm not even going to summarize it because it would be too much to summarize. But basically the idea is, if you follow the gynocentric view, you're going to end up yoked to a woman and you'll get to a high level of esteem, but you will never have any freedom. You know, maybe in the darkest part of your house or in your man cave, you'll get an hour a day to play video games, but then you'll have to go to sleep so that you can get up and go to work the next day. But if you follow the male side and push away, you know, her strategy for reproduction and use your own, and push away your biological imperatives to protect her and provide for her and do all the things that the gynocentric world wants you to do, you'll be free. At a point in your life, you'll be free and you will be self-actualized and you will be able to do what you want to do. Okay? That's all I have. If you don't believe this, if you want to post some dissent, if you want to call me a woman hater, or you want to say this or that, feel free. I love it. Bring it on. I'm all about competition. I can crush you in the comment section just as easily as I can crush you here. So, bring it. And as always, take it easy, boys.